He paid for the house, he paid for the car, he paid for her lawyer. And in 60 seconds, you will understand why divorce is the ultimate male punishment.
So how much did my divorce cost me? Well, this is a fantastic question. There's direct and there's indirect costs. Direct costs, I lost $106,000 out of my 401k retirement plan I spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half the equity in the home, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cash, and savings that I also spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half of all the non-liquid assets like furniture, household goods, electronics, cars. Keep in mind, I paid for all of these. And this is in addition to financially supporting her and her/our daughter for 17 years, which is many hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm now broke, live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and have a negative net worth for the first time since I was, 25. Indirect costs: my job, my sobriety, my self-worth, my masculinity, my hope for the future, my ability to trust women again, my belief in God, my pride, my motivation, my physical health. I don't know, let's just say everything.
I forgot to tell Rosha it was her birthday, and you tell Rosha, look what Daddy got her. Daddy got her all the Teletubbies. Look, Rosha, all the Teletubbies. And he got her a jigsaw puzzle with cats and dogs and everything else in it, right? And she can get them really, really soon. Okay, you make sure that you sing happy birthday to Rosha and tell Daddy that I love her and that I love you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Daddy loves you and he misses you so much. Be good for Nana. Be good for Mummy. Okay? I will see you soon. I will never, ever stop loving you. Okay? Bye-bye.
You know, I've had multiple men tell me there's no way in hell I would have done what you've done, Ryan. The fight that you've put up just to be allowed to be a father, there ain't no way I would have dealt with that bullshit that you've been through. So I look at them and I'm like, so you would have just walked away from your kid? Hell yeah, I would have. If she's gonna make me fight like this, I'm not doing it. I'll wait till my son or daughter is 18 years old and I'll show him. I'll show him it wasn't me, it was her mother, and she allowed all of this bullshit. Don't you understand, Ryan? Like, if you just walk away, she's gonna need you one day. She's gonna be begging for your help one day. Yeah, you're right, that is the case for a lot of women out there, but there's a lot of women out there also that have their mothers that are going to help them out. Many other people that are going to help her out, because people care about women. People care about mothers. Yeah, I'm broken, I'm beaten down. I have my good days, I have my bad days. My good days are when I'm able to do these videos. And overall, I'm worn out right now. A lot of people just truly don't understand that it's illegal to be a father unless you spend the money and you fight and you jump through the hoops to be allowed to be a father. There's a lot of men out there that understand that there's no justice for men. There's no justice for fathers. There's only justice for moms and women. How many women do you know that have had to pay dad's attorney fees? Not many. How many men do you know that have had to pay mom's attorney fees? Quite a few, right? This world is not fair for men. We go through more hardships in life than women will ever fathom of enduring.
Divorce is marketed as freedom, as escape, as healing. But for men, it often becomes a silent death sentence, one no one talks about. When a marriage ends, society rushes to support the woman. She's the victim, she's the survivor. But the man, he's disposable, he's the problem. He loses his kids, his home, his money, his identity. And worst of all, no one even asks him how he's doing. This video is not about blame, it's about truth. And today we are diving deep into what divorce really does to men and why the silence around it needs to end.
Is divorce harder on women or men?
The world is more sympathetic to women when they get divorced. A woman gets cheated on, the man's a piece of shit. A woman cheats on a man, she must have been forced into the arms of this other man, or she had to explore herself, or she was being neglected. He mustn't have been meeting her needs, and she had every right in the world. Men have a very hard time right now in divorce. They see their children less, they get hit harder financially, they are the bad guy no matter what. If they cheat, they're the bad guy. If they get cheated on, they were the bad guy because they probably neglected her. There's a presumption that the man is to blame a lot of the time. The law theoretically is gender blind right now, but I don't actually see that, because the law is people. The law is judges, and judges are human, and they have all the same biases. But in fairness, divorced men meet a young woman, and the woman's like, instant family, just add me. Women, they get divorced, they've got kids, and guys are like, whoop, it's got baggage, I'm not going near that. That men and women have different problems post-divorce, and the world could be better to both of them.
Why do men keep getting married? Fuck if I know. I mean, I honestly, like these days, I don't know what's in it for a man. Like there's no upside in my mind for a man to get married. It doesn't create faithfulness on the part of a woman. It doesn't create security in terms of finances for him. It doesn't create security in terms of his kids going forward if they actually go through a divorce. Like, what's the upside here? Somebody explain it to me.
In divorce court, men walk in already guilty. The default is that the woman gets the kids, the man gets the bills. Custody? Unless she's clearly unfit, he's lucky to see his kids on weekends. Alimony? He could be paying her for years, even if she left him, even if she cheated. Child support? It's not just about the kids, it's about control. Men are forced to pay into a system that rarely considers fairness. And if he misses a payment, the consequences are brutal. Garnished wages, suspended licenses, jail time. The system claims it's about the best interest of the child, but too often is about punishing the father. You think alimony is bad? In 2024, men lose 42% of their net worth post-divorce. Women, their wealth increases by 73% on average. But here's the kicker. Even if she cheated, even if she filed first, the court still says you pay. This is not justice, it's financial slavery.
Mostly women are leaving marriages and not men. College level, it's almost all women. Then men are the exception because women are initiating 90% of the time. We can ask these women why the divorce happened. He was a perfect guy. I just got fucking sick of him. I don't like him anymore.
Women get custody because the court system favors them.
No, but okay.
And I'll tell you what.
Go on.
And men are punished for being traditional in this country. They are. The code is written. It's basically the person that spends the most time with the child. If a man wants to protect and provide for his family, who does that punish? The guy for doing the right thing.
But the children spend more time with the mothers. Sometimes men are not as involved.
Correct.
So
correct.
But
it's because
children that want to go
right,
with them.
It's because they're at work, though. Let's talk about what's in the best interest of the child. When you look at single father homes, they fare very similar to two-parent households. When you look at single mother homes, they become criminals.
I didn't know that. Yep.
They become criminals, drug dealers, school shooters. Every really problem that you can look at in society comes from single mother homes.
If this is resonating with you, take a second to subscribe. More real talk is coming your way. Men are not allowed to hurt. Society says, be a man, suck it up, move on. But inside, he's drowning. The loss of his family, his home and identity can lead to serious emotional trauma, depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts. Studies show divorced men are far more likely to end their lives than married men. But who talks about that? There are no support groups for men, no sympathy, no you got this king. He suffers in silence because showing pain, that is considered as a weakness. Divorce court is not fair. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry built on male disposability. You think I'm exaggerating? Well, 78% of non-custodial parents are men, despite 92% of fathers fighting for custody. After the divorce, friends disappear, the community picks sides. Family often tells him to fix it, to apologize, to chase her. He becomes the villain even when he did everything right. He's not invited to family events. He stops getting calls. People assume he's the bad guy. Divorce does not just end a relationship. It ends a man's social life.
How did you become homeless?
I was married. I got 3 children. And we got divorced. One of us had to leave.
I mean, like, how can, if she, as a person that loves you, like, how can she have, or loved you, how can she just leave you?
It's just life.
But how old are the kids?
The eldest is 17, 16 and 14.
So what do they know about their dad though? Like, don't they?
They don't know I'm homeless. They they think I live permanently in a hostel. I do this to try and get money to get into every day. But they don't realise.
They don't realise what you're going
extends
through.
what.
And does your ex-wife know?
Yeah, she knows. But
And she doesn't. And has she moved on with someone else, or?
No, not yet. But she will, won't she? Especially with my children and things. I feel a lot of shame. Because they don't deserve this, do they? No one deserves this. I go to job centre every day to try and look for work. I ask all the sites and things because I'm a qualified plasterer. But the only thing is, you need the address to get the job, and you need the job to get the money to get the address.
And now, the kids. The number one tactic to destroy a man, parental alienation. She tells the court you're unstable. No proof is needed. Suddenly, you are a visitor in your children's lives while paying for their new stepdad's boots.
You keep your baby father from your kids, I think that you should be charged with something, because you're putting your kid at every statistical disadvantage for what?
Is that hyperbole, or is that like the actual fact, Paul? Well, I'll tell you the facts. 90% of single parent homes are headed by women. 90%, right? 63% of youth suicides are from single mother homes. 90% of homelessness and runaway children are from single mother homes. 71% of high school dropouts are from single mother homes. 70% of youths in operated institutions are from single mother homes. 80% of all youths in prison are from single mother homes. 85% of children who show behavioral disorders are from single mother homes. 80% of rapists with anger problems are from where? Single mother homes. So like Spell says, you're putting your child at every statistical disadvantage when you choose to just be a quote-unquote single mother.
Parental alienation is the sadistic side of narcissism, one of them at least, where the parent who's the narcissist projects all of their bad behaviors onto the other parent, convincing the child, a young child, it could even be a teen, that that parent is the bad parent and should stop seeing them, and can convince them. And the court systems are set up to, they don't acknowledge narcissism, they don't understand all of this. The narcissist looks really good in the courtroom, and they look like they're being reasonable, but outside of the courtroom they're not. It's what they're not doing and not saying, and they're giving information covertly to the child, sometimes overtly, that other parent is not good for them and doesn't have their best interests. So the sadistic narcissist stops the child from talking to the other parent and maybe even the other family, and everybody suffers except for the narcissism, who ends up feeding their own ego and gets what they want.
The average divorced man loses 40% to 50% of his net worth overnight. Some lose their homes, cars, retirement savings, and more. He's expected to keep paying, keep working, keep surviving with half the resources he once had. For many men, divorce means starting over in their 40s or 50s, living in rented rooms, driving beat-up cars, while watching their ex live comfortably with the kids. It's a financial warfare, and most men don't recover.
So my story is nothing new. It happens all the time throughout the US or the world, but no one ever talks about it. There's no real support for men going through divorce. There's no one speaking about the horrific things that men go through. And don't get me wrong, women go through horrific things too, but I see a lot of support in this world for them, but not enough for men. And we're taught to rub dirt on it, to put duct tape on it and keep going, to put our feelings down deep. And be honest with you guys, like, that leads us to lighting our entire lives on fire. It leads to depression. and it leads to anxiety and being lost.
What is he doing? Residents in this Westmont neighborhood were stunned after seeing their neighbor go on an angry rampage, destroying his own home, neighbors' yards, and cars. Anything that was in his way Sunday afternoon.
He first came with a white Impala and he tore up the garage door.
Neighbor Journey Megerson began taking video of the destruction just after 3:30 p.m. She and her family members immediately called 911, but before officers came, the man came back, driving a dump truck, leaving another trail of destruction.
Fear, complete fear, because he was like a madman.
Patricia Dunn says the man behind the wheel is her husband, Ronald Dunn. She says the two are in the process of getting a divorce.
Earlier this month, she filed a restraining order. She says that only angered him.
Neighbors say Dunn came back a third time, yelling obscenities at his wife and neighbors who were simply trying to comfort her. Almost 45 minutes after the first 911 call, authorities arrived.
If they had been here a little bit earlier, all of the damage would have happened, because he came back 3 times and they wasn't even here.
Patricia Dunn says she now fears for her life.
I don't even want this house anymore. I just want to put it up for sale and just move on, because I'm not comfortable here anymore. I don't know, he might come back. Who's to say he's not? A man that's under that kind of rage, who's to say what he might do? He was trying to kill me. He really was.
This video is pro-accountability. Men deserve to be heard. They deserve support. They deserve fair treatment. Not every woman abuses the system, but the system enables abuse by ignoring what men go through. Divorce is a war zone, and men walk in with no armor, no backup, and no mercy. We need to change that, because if we keep ignoring what divorce does to men, we will keep losing them.